everybody, I'm Robin and these are my reflections, and today we are doing a VR to lots of people. So it is a VR to, let me give my little list here. It's Lisa Pepez, Don Michelle Tarot, Danny Mystic, and Marlena Teresa, and also Tarot is Magic. So Deck Crush was a tag that came out last year around this time that was created by the four people I mentioned first. And this year, Tarot is Magic. I'll link all of their channels below. Kind of revamped it. She just kind of brought it back to the surface, and then she added in. Collected some prompts that some people who did the video last year added onto the prompts that were originally created by the four original creators, and then um, also, she added some new prompts of her own. She tagged me and challenge accepted. I am going to go through this. This is a lot of decks, so I'm just going to get to it. Like I said, it's all explained in the description box below. And the first prompt is the Fling, a deck with which you had a short period of wild times. And that deck would be it's upside down. The Urban Incantations Tarot. When I first got this deck, I was like enamored with it. I like Leonard Narciso's work. I have the um, the two minis that he has from US Games, and I've seen some of his other decks that I think are quite cool. And this one was a Kickstarter, I think last year, and I picked it up. I just like it. I like the impressionist kind of faux impressionist art style that's going on here. I like the city look of it, the urban look of it, and I liked the interpretations on the cards, and I like the linen cardstock. So when I first got it, it was a lot of fun to just use it and look into the cards and try to figure out what I'm looking at and what he meant by using this. The guidebook is really cool. It's well written. He makes a lot of decks. It's always fun to see what comes next from a person who's made 10 plus tarot decks already, right? And so I really enjoyed this one when I first got it. And then I put it away for the summer and I just never used it again. Like, I literally never used it again. And it's been sitting out all winter because I brought it back out for the winter and the fall, and I still have not used it. So I feel like this one works for the Fling. It was a deck that I had a short period of wild, hot times with, and then nothing. But we'll see if it comes back out. Like, it is beautiful. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe I need to get this one back out. I think that's going to happen with a lot of decks today. So, so the next one is Puppy Love, a deck with which you were infatuated but couldn't make a long-term commitment to. Okay. This is going to be the Alchemical Tarot of Marseille by Robert M. Place. I think that this deck is beautiful. How did this get here? Hang on, let me put that back. I like Robert M. Place's stuff. I think his artwork is it's fun. It's fun and it's pretty to look at. The colors pop. The shading is nice. It's beautiful pieces. They're beautiful pieces of art. They're nice big cards, which also draw me in. The cardstock is beautiful. I like the quotes that he chose from, I guess, the Hermetic texts. I don't know if that text has a name besides Hermetic text. I think it says in the guidebook. I looked at it, but it went out of my head. But this is, I like the look of this, but for some reason, I never use it. I forced myself to use it in May when I was doing Marseille for May, and I loved using it, and then I never pulled it back out. So I think this falls very squarely into puppy love. I bought it because I thought, oh, I like this. It's so cute, and then I used it, and I guess it grew up into a dog, and yeah, we moved on. So I just haven't made any kind of long term commitment to it. And I think that's the reason I haven't picked up the new one. I think that one's beautiful too. I have the same kind of like fluttery feelings when I look at it, but given how infrequently I use this one, I think I just need to leave it alone. So that's my puppy love deck. So the next prompt is Friends with Benefits, a deck you care about but sometimes get extremely passionate for. And this is going to be the Onyx Tarot. by, oh, who does this? Why can't I ever remember her name? Sugar Taylor Co. This is a beautiful deck. I love this deck. So I do care about it. I do take good care of it because if something ever happened to it, I would be very sad. But sometimes, like, I just love this deck. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice, it's sexy, it's clean, it's crisp, it's melanated, it's RWS, it's collage with like that gray or that cool tones with pops of color over top or pops of warm tones. This is very much my aesthetic. I like it. Me like it, and sometimes I really like it, you know? Sometimes I really like it. Sometimes we're more than just friends. So, yeah, this is definitely my Friends with Benefits deck for sure. This is the Onyx Tarot by Sugar Taylor Co. The next one is Love at First Sight, a deck you loved from the start. This one is going to be my Cottage Witch Oracle. I had a couple of others that could have fallen into this category. Yeah, I have a couple in my collection that I could say I loved at first sight, but this is definitely one. So we'll use this one. This is the Cottage Witch Oracle. This is the all of the expansions. So, you know, if you see a card and you're like, which one does that come from? Don't ask me. I don't know. I got all the expansions. I put them in and I rolled with it. Once they're in, they're in. So this is a deck by Krista over at Krista Chronicles, and you can find her on Etsy at Crochet Witch Wears. She periodically prints these, the original and all the expansions, and I love this deck. I think it's just like a comfort deck for me. It's one that I just pull out to read with when I just want answers. I can string the words together to make sentences and just use it like a fortune telling sort of style deck. I can also use it for like daily polls. It's comforting. The pictures are beautiful. Like I said, I like this aesthetic of this sort of warm tone or either like a cool tone in the background, like a soft tone with pops of color. This is my aesthetic, so I like this aesthetic. Yeah, nice linen cardstock, easy to shuffle, love it. Nothing more to say. I liked it from the moment I opened it up. Actually, I loved it from the moment she showed the first glimpse of it. I knew I was gonna love this deck, and it has been love at first and every other site since. And this is the Cottage Witch Oracle. Hey Santa, what you doing down there? Come here, get in here. The next prompt is the One Night Stand, a deck you tried out but moved on from almost immediately, and sometimes you still think about it. This is the Bohemian Gothic Tarot. Um, I don't like this deck. I think I knew I wasn't gonna like this deck when I bought it, but I thought to myself, I want to try it. I never liked this deck. I wanted to try it because I thought that the reason I didn't like it was that blue hue that they had over all of the cards. And when they said they were going to be removing that hue, I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll like it now, you know? And also, there was a little bit of FOMO because, you know, once this one goes out of print, it's going to be out of print, out of print. And I thought, well, this is my chance, you know, it's open for pre-orders. I can actually order it right now at probably the least expensive I'm ever going to get it because I had one of those coupons that they have for their points and stuff. And I was like, well, this is my chance to try it. And I got it in during Christmas. I think we all got them in during Christmas. Who's checking for this during Christmas? Like I was not. I was like, what is this? I looked at it, I made sure all the cards were there. I just wasn't feeling this in December. Like, it's Christmas time. I don't want to look at this. So the reason that this one fits into this prompt is the part of the prompt that says you're still thinking about it sometimes. Because yeah, I think I am still thinking about it. I need to give this more of a shot. I haven't even tried to read with it. Obviously, I haven't even shuffled it. I just looked at it and was like, nope, and put it on the shelf. And it could have been the fact that it came. I really think it was the fact that it came during Christmas that it got such the short end of the stick because I'm usually a little bit more open than that, but so we'll see how it goes as time marches on. Definitely going to give it a Halloween season before I make any harsh decisions here, but this definitely is the one for the one night stand prompt for the moment. Circle back next year and ask me. We'll see how it goes. So the next prompt is we were on a break, a deck you're separated from for any reason. And I've chosen the Lantern Oracle. This is Angelina Mirabito, PhD, is the writer of this deck. And the reason I've chosen this one is because this is my usual go-to deck around this time of year. I'm usually, doing some, I don't know, I'm usually doing some of this deeper work. And I guess that must have been the last card I pulled. And using this deck. And the fact that it's not been used yet for almost a year is a little bit odd to me. I think it's because I got the Cosmic Alchemy Oracle in, and so I've been using that to do the type of work I would normally use this one to do. But looking at it now, I really miss it. And I'm like, oh, why don't I have this out again? And I had a feeling that was going to happen with a lot of these decks, because I was looking at them and I was like, oh, I haven't seen this one in a while. Oh, I haven't seen this one in a while. Just looking at the boxes, I was getting excited to see the cards. So I think we'll be pulling this one out pretty soon. I love this one. I don't know what's up. Yeah, anyways, this is the one that I chose for the We Were on a Break. We're separated for some reason that I cannot fathom because it's gorgeous. Yeah, so we'll be getting this one back out soon. This is the Lantern Oracle. Yes, look at that. Next up is Marriage Material, a deck that has proven its value to you. If you have been on this channel for any length of time, I'm sure you have heard me gush about the Soul Trees Oracle. I love this deck. It has proven its value over and over again, time and time again. I like it. I don't know why one of my favorite decks is just a deck of trees. But these are not just trees. I mean, these are emotions in movement and painting, right? This is emotion and color. So yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. It's my style. It's my style. So I like the keywords. I like that the keywords stack. That's a thing that it's a physical usability thing that I like in Oracle decks. I like that there are a lot of cards. I like that this is familiar because I used it. I use it daily for months at a time, for like month stretches. So it feels very familiar, and I love the color energy in it, the color chakra, language that's worked into all of the cards. That language I love to work with. So this is a deck that I love, and it has definitely proven its value to me again and again and again. And this is the Soul Trees Oracle by Allison Williams Yee. Yes, Allison Williams Yee. You can buy this one on Etsy, or you can get it directly from her website if you prefer. The next prompt is the Happily Ever After, your true love in a deck. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm happy to have you. My name is Robin, and I love the Super Lunaris Tarot. This is my favorite deck. It will, of course, it's going to be the one showing up. It's my Happily Ever After. Anybody who's been on this channel for any length of time is not surprised to see this, I'm sure. Come on, I mean, it's my deck. If I could only have one, it would be this one. And that's like hands down my answer to this question. The Super Lunaris Tarot is a deck that I see everything that I feel like I need to see in a tarot deck in this deck. Of course, that's a personal thing. Everybody may not love this deck as much as I do, but it's everything I want in a tarot deck. It's everything I need in a tarot deck. It gives me everything I need in a tarot reading, and I think that's why I love it so much. So this is a Super Lunaris. I'm not going to carry on and on and on about how much I love this deck, because I'm sure that the people who have been here for a while are sick of hearing it. But but I still love it, and so we had to give it some love. And again, this is my marriage material, the Super Lunaris Tarot. You can buy this one on Etsy. So the next one is the Divorce, a deck that you thought you'd be with forever but ended up parting with. This one is from Chanel Days. The channel is Chanel Days. And like I said, I'll put all of this down below. So you don't have to like remember this stuff. You can just check the description box below. All of the channels and stuff will be next to their prompts, and all the prompts will be down there. But the deck that I will put it on the screen here because I parted with it, I don't have it, is The Universe Has Your Back. Now, I thought I would have that deck for life. When I bought it, I was just so enamored with it. I love the colors. I love a good Hay House deck. I loved the affirmations and you know how good it made me feel. But I think I just need something different when it comes to my affirmation decks. And so I started last year, or maybe the year before last, kind of reworking my affirmation deck collection, and that one just didn't make the cut. So yeah, I love that deck for years, but I think I just kind of, I evolved to another place in my practice when it comes to affirmation decks, and I just wanted something different. So the next one is The One That Got Away, a deck you missed out on, and it's no longer in print. This one is coming to us from Haunted Acre Farm. That's the name of the channel. And mine is going to be the Lenorman. Let me show you a deck while I talk about this one. So I have the Lua Tarot. This is the second edition, I believe, or the third edition. I don't know. Might be the first. No, it's not the first edition. It's definitely the second or third edition. And when I picked this one up, there was an option to get both the Lenormand and the Lua Tarot as like a little set, like a bundle. And I had the bundle in my cart, and I did not buy it. Oh, this is still in order. Oh, you know what? I think I put the second order because I was going to read the guidebook. So this is because I was like, I know I've been using this. So let me make sure I don't mess it up. So this is a beautiful deck. I love this deck. It's soft, calm. I love the diversity in the images. It's hard to find decks that have diversity in the images when it's these classical images like this. So the fact that this is one that has that made this even more special to me. I think that when I realized how much I love this deck is when I wanted that Lenormand. I didn't buy the Lenormand initially because at the time I wasn't using Lenormand that much, and I didn't feel I needed another Lenormand deck. And now I really regret that. I really, really wish I would have picked up that Lenormand deck. Every time I see it, I wish I had it. So yeah, that's this one. This is the Lua. So the answer to this question, the one that got away, is the Lua Lenormand. The Lenormand deck that is the sister deck to this tarot deck. I don't know if I'll ever get it because it's out of print, not like a little bit, like a lot of bit. And I don't really do out of print decks. So I think that one's gone. I think it got away, y'all. And the next one is the Soul Connection, a deck that you thought was going to be just a crush, but went way deeper than you could have ever anticipated. This is the El Camino Oracle, and this is the Ancestral Wisdom for the Journey by Sabina Espinay or Espinet. I'm not sure if that's Espinay or Espinet. This deck I thought was just going to be, a cute little oracle deck. I liked the idea of having a deck called El Camino because I've always wanted to do the Camino. I've always wanted to walk the Camino de Santiago. And, I like that. The title caught my eye. Then I like the idea of having this sort of pre-Columbian heritage, ancestral themed deck because I hadn't seen anything like this out there. And I like it when things are different, and when I got it, I actually did not expect this deck to teach me all that it has taught me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like an auntie that is just here to like give me the advice to be the best that I can be, but also love me, and be that shoulder, that listening ear that's not a parent, that's not judgy, but is also going to be straightforward with you. You know what I mean? It gives me that feel. And there are readings that I do with this deck that I can't do with other decks. Also, there was something in the guidebook that was about music and mixing music with your tarot practice and your oracle practice that has completely I don't know, like leveled up my practice. Like I'd never done it before. I read it in this book and I've started doing it since and I really love that practice. So yeah, I think that this one is definitely, apropos for this prompt. The next one is the fallback. The if we aren't married by 45, you're always going to be there. You expect no commitments, but we're going to get married if we're not married by 45 sort of thing. And it's always going to be an RWS deck for me. This one is the one that I currently have out on my desk. This is the Pixie Pop Tarot. I think this is so cute. I love the colors. This little guidebook just it hits. Like I am continuously impressed by how much they packed into this little book inside this little box. So every time I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, they did that. It's a borderless RWS, redrawn, recolored, given some flair, given some chakra gradient in chakra color gradients in the background. This is Pixie Style Divination, these are two people that are in the community. So if you have the Rebel deck, the woman who did the Rebel deck, and then also the woman who did the naked, what is the name of the other deck with the animals? Oh, I can't remember. Jillian Wild is her name, I believe, but I can't remember the name of her deck. But so they come together to make Pixie Style Divination, and they made this deck. It was a Kickstarter. I'm pretty sure you can still get it on Etsy or somewhere, but I love this one. And I keep it out. I always have an RWS deck out. That's why it's my fallback. That's why it's my when we're 45. But at the moment, this is the one I have out. So this is the one you get to see. Pixie Pop. So cute. The next one is the Derek Shepherd. This is a deck I brought home because it was pretty and had good hair and then fell in love with. This is going to be the Modern Love Tarot. This is by Ethany. I love this deck, y'all. I have loved this deck from the moment I got it. When I first got this deck, I used it for everything, not just love readings. I used it for all the readings, and I was obsessed. And I'm still quite obsessed with this deck. Every time I pull it out, the artwork is stunning. The interpretations of the cards are just cool, and the guidebook taught me a lot about reading for different types of love, and it also taught me a lot about seeing cards in various ways all at once. You know what I mean? Like just making sure that I keep all of that at the forefront of my mind when I pull a card so that I can pull pull at it depending on what the question is and really kind of leaning into the question and the person that I'm reading for as opposed to just the what the card means, you know. Um yeah, I think reading that guidebook and seeing all those different sections and all those different ways that she explained each card really just kept that in my mind. And, it just made me stay with that. Like every time I read it, every time I pull a card now, I'm always like running through my Rolodex of different ways to interpret it. It was a good practice for me, and it opened up my practice to make me read that way. Just reading that guidebook and seeing that kind of brought that to the forefront for me. So yeah, this one definitely was one that I brought home because it was pretty. I liked the artwork. I liked the fact that it had blingy backs. I watched like 1,000 walkthroughs on this and seen it. This was when I first started watching TarotTube, and I had been seeing this thing all over on everybody's channel, and it was just impressive to me. I had never seen a deck, I don't think, with these like with the foiling on it like this. And this was the first one I ever owned, I believe, with the foiling on the back. I'd had ones with foiling on the sides, but never on the back like this. I don't think that I can think of. And yeah, it was a novelty to me. And I I still don't have a whole lot of decks with foiling on the cards, not just on the sides. And I love the artwork. I love pastel anyway. And so to see a deck made in pastel was fun for me. A deck just for love, a deck with representation, that was a little bit saucy, but a little bit real and a little bit normal and a little bit wild. I liked it and I brought it home for all of those reasons, but I fell in love with it for those other reasons, the fact that it taught me something, the fact that it got under my skin, and the fact that it just is a fabulous deck. It reads wonderfully. Yeah, and so, this is my well loved copy, and I have used the hell out of this deck, and it has held up. Like, look, it looks good. I mean, it's a little chipped, but come on. I mean, as much as I've used this deck and read with it, I think this deck looks great because I have used the hell out of this. So, this is the Modern Love Tarot by Ethony. The next one is the Unexpected Love Affair, a deck that you thought you had no interest in, but then you held it in your hands and it all changed. Mine is going to be the Fifth Spirit Tarot. When this deck was out as an indie deck, I had no interest. I was not at all moved. I didn't want it. I didn't think I wanted it. I bought it only because Book Depository had it on pre-order for like a great price, and I was like, well, people are talking about this deck heavily, and everybody seems to really love it. So I mean, for $10, you know what I mean? Like, I might as well try it. So I did. I pre-ordered it, and they sent it to me when it came out, and I actually got it a little earlier because I think it released with Book Depository a little earlier than it did with Amazon. And then yeah, I fell in love with it. This is a feel good deck for me. It's a good mood deck. I love the imagery. I love these people. I think every time I pull it out, I'm just like, hey y'all, like, yeah, let's do this. And they're like, hey. It's cute. Like, it's cute. The people are just, they're here. They're here to do this reading and to teach us some things and to put smiles on people's faces. And I enjoy it. I enjoy this deck. So look at this beautiful card. I love the artwork. It's pretty. It's soothing. Like I said, my aesthetic. So yeah, I don't know why I wasn't checking for this one, but I wasn't. And then I was. So again, this one is the one that I'm choosing for the Unexpected Love Affair. And this is the Fifth Spirit Tarot. I'm not sure if I said, but the soul connection prompt came from Roots and Waves. The fallback and the Derek Shepherd were from My Lived in Life. And the next two prompts are coming from Tarot is Magic specifically. Actually, three prompts. She had 5 or 6 of them. I'll post them all below, but I'm only doing 3. So the next prompt is Out of Your League. And this is a deck that you thought was out of your league, too complex or hard to understand. But then. And I'm going with the Spirit Keepers Tarot. This is the Revelation Edition second printing by Benabel Wen. So when I first joined TarotTube and started like joining the Facebook groups and hearing people talk about this deck and the different editions, and everybody was excited because it was coming in color, and then they got their edition and everybody was excited, and I was looking at it and I was just thinking to myself, wow, this is way out of my league. Like, first of all, am I even going to be able to see it? Because I have, my eyes are not the best, and there's a lot going on here. And then I don't know what's on the cards. Like, I mean, I know a little bit about a lot of things, and I know a lot about a few things, but there's a whole lot that I don't know shit about. And I thought that this was going to be like fall in that category, and I was like, I can't do this. And then it re-released. And I was feeling a little more confident, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, let me try it. Let me see. It is really pretty. I love, the diversity that I see in it, and I want to see. I want to try it. And I did. I tried it. And from the time that I started seeing people talk about this, all the way up until the time I got it in my hands, I thought this was out of my league. Well, actually, really, even after that, all the way up until the time that I actually cracked the book and started reading about the deck. Because when I got it, I just looking through the pictures and going, wow, this is out of my league, just like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then I started actually working through the plethora of information that she gives us, doing the exercises and learning about the cards and everything that she's put in the cards. And really what was out of my league was being able to find the time that it takes to go through the wealth of information that she gives us for free as free gifts with purchase, you know? Like, so I think that's what was out of my league, being able to find that time. But you know, I'm finding it little by little. I can work at my own pace. There's nobody rushing me, and I'm really enjoying this deck. And there's nothing in it that she doesn't like. If I ever come across something and I'm wondering what it is, it's written in paperwork, so I can just go to the paperwork and find out what it is. She's very clear on everything. She writes everything that you might think you might want to know, plus things you don't even know you want to know until maybe later, and then you circle back around to it. You know what I mean? So it's not out of your league. If you're thinking like I was thinking, don't be afraid. This deck is it's wonderful, and I've learned a lot, and I know that there's a lot more for me to learn from it, and I can't wait. I'm excited. So this is my out of your league, out of my league deck. What I'm trying to say is this is the Spirit Keepers Tarot by Bell Wynn, and it's not out of my league, okay? It's just she created it to be used. She created it to be a tarot deck to be read with, and it is a very readable deck, and it just required me to just do that, to read with it, you know, and to try with it. And she gave me all the tools that I needed for free to be able to do that. And so yeah, it absolutely was. It's very reader friendly. Leads me into the next one, which is the Celebrity Crush. And that is a deck that is out of reach for some reason. And that is that 90s tarot, or the illest tarot it's called. I'll put it here on the screen for you. It's out of reach because it's out of print, and it's like way out of print. And I don't do out of print decks. I had it in my cart many times, and I never got it because I didn't like the idea of the portrait style pictures, because that's not my style. I like pictures on my tarot decks, but I prefer it to be like, you know, candid scenes, not necessarily portrait style. So I didn't know if I was gonna like it. I may not like it, but it's too late now to I'll never know. I'll never know now because it's out of print. And so so I won't be getting that one, but that is one that definitely is out of reach for me. All right, good people. That's the last one, and we are done. So thank you to Lisa Pepez, Danny Mystic, Dawn Michelle Tarot, and Marlena Teresa for creating this tag. Thank you to Tarot is Magic for bringing it back to our attention, and to everyone else who participated and added extra tags in for us to answer. Thank you to you all as well. There will be no links in the description box below because we don't want any spoilers. Like, share, subscribe, and until I see you guys next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.